Hello everyone and welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we'll be taking a look at a knife that was sent to me by QSP, so I'm very grateful for them for sending it over. Of course this was provided free of charge, but that won't affect my review. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. Pretty much say how it is. And they still sent it along, which is very, very kind of them. And we're going to be taking a look today at the brand new jumping jack. So the model number for that is QS167 and the dash, and then designating whatever model you've got on the side. They actually sent two of them across, so got B and D. D for Desert Ironwood and B for the Blue Bone. Both have satin or satin stainless steel bolsters and 14C28N. Usual stuff inside the box, stickers, all that sort of spec card, all that sort of nonsense. And there's a couple of options with these. So you can either have them just as the knife only, or you can have the knife with a slip. And the slip adds about $10 to $15 onto the price. Brown leather, black leather, pretty kind of cheapy kind of slips, but they are quite soft inside and the leather's nice and supple, and you get a pocket clip on there if that's something you like. For me, not a huge fan of the pocket slips on leather, and I prefer the squared off bottom so they don't sort of fall over in your pocket. But again, the clip will sort of fix that issue with it being attached to your pocket. But nice of them to send those along as well. And some about this knife that I wasn't quite sure about, but I was looking at it and you can notice there is this little F on the blade here. And I knew that was from a brand that is about, quite a modern brand. I'm pretty sure it was Finch. So I did a little bit of digging. And these knives are actually designed by Spencer Maracrant. Probably got that wrong, but he is a designer at Finch Knives, so that's really cool. That's sort of a little tiny collaboration going on between Finch and QSP. So you can pick these up for about $92 on QSP's website. They're not yet anywhere in the UK, but I'm sure they will be at some point. I'm sure Heine will get them in. I'm sure Moonraker and maybe Cycler Knives and Tools as well. But we'll take a look at the Blue Bone one first. Wonderful vibrant bone on that. You can see the deep sort of Mediterranean colours in there. Of course, this is Torx construction, which is a shame because I'd have much preferred it pinned, but you know, you can take it apart and clean out the knife if you wish. You can see you've got T6, T6, T6 and a T8 bolster, and then the same on this side as well. Now I'm not sure if it is a, you know, like a fixed pivot where one side is cut into a flat to stop it spinning. Not sure. I'd have to take it apart to have a look. But these covers are beautiful. The fit and finish is fantastic. You can almost barely tell that it's 3 bits of metal on the back there with the spring and the bottom bolster. Nice little Coke bottle shape. See, you've got like the bit that curves in here and here either side, and then out towards the bottom and that sort of rounded base. Both bolsters are lined with that satin finish, and I believe it's integral liners and bolsters. It is, yep. Blade centering right down the middle as you'd expect from QSP. And then this blade, I'm not sure what to think about it, but it has sort of spay blade vibes about it, but it's also a massive spear point blade. So I'm not too sure about it, but as a work knife, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the grind on this is sort of like the sanding marks is beautiful horizontally down the blade. I think that looks absolutely wonderful. And then we've got perfect edge up and down the blade, of course, but then coming out of QSP or anything coming out of sort of China at the moment, they're absolutely nailing it out of the park with the grinds and things like that. And yeah, I know that's because a lot of it's done with a machine, but it's still nice to get a really perfect knife if that's what you know, something you want. It's just a user or something you're into sort of collecting these knives. But there is Finch's logo there, so you can see more than the fact that's probably his maker's mark as part of Finch. QSP on the front, and then the blade steel is down on the tang down here of 14C28N. Take a look at a couple of specs while we're here. It's definitely going to be UK legal, you can tell just by looking at it. 3.5 inches closed, blade length of 2 3/4, and then a cutting edge of 2.5. So very similar to a Barlow, to be honest, Barlow sized. Very comfortable in the hand, I will say that. Maybe a little bit of jimping up there would be nice, but it really sort of fits the hand well. You get that beautiful fat spear. Now I know this is one that Paddy will definitely like. He'll love the blade on this one. And you'll notice as well, nail nick on both sides, so it's fully ambidextrous. Nice thick working stock without any swedging. Let's have a look how it fits in a slip. So I always do tip down in a slip. So yeah, it does fit in there nice and securely. What's it like to get out? Bit of a faff to get it out, if I'm honest, but you can pull it out. Maybe if you put it in this way, it might be a bit easier to get out with that Coke bottle style neck on the knife. Yeah, definitely. That would be one I'd probably put in tip down in this one. You can see it'll sit in your pocket, sort of this much showing at the top, or on your belt. Might be good for a belt carry, this one. Nice retention on that pocket clip for there. But yeah, that is the Blue Bone. And look at the Desert Ironwood on this. Isn't that beautiful? They've really picked some fantastic Desert Ironwood. Again, exactly the same construction as the last one. Beautiful fit and finish all the way round. Blade, again, is absolutely dead center. Of course, you get the ambidextrous nail nicks on both sides. You can pinch this open, and I will say the action of it is fantastic. About a 7 on the pull, I would say. Yeah. Stop pin in there to stop any blade wrap. And again, this one is absolutely flawless, causing a bit of glare issues on the camera with focus, which is a bit inconvenient. But nice thick working stock, but it does get down to quite a slicey edge, I would say. It's not thick behind the edge at all, and it's absolutely screaming sharp out of the box, as you know a lot of these knives coming out of China are, which is nice to get that absolute quality for not that much of a price. So these are coming in at $92 US. That's for the Desert Ironwood. The Blue Bone's slightly cheaper. Abalone's I think 92 as well, and they've got a couple of other models on there as well. Let me see if I can see what they've got. So while I'm bringing it up here, so you can buy the leather slips separately. It's $15.99. Desert Ironwood 92, Abalone 92, and then you've got a Kironite black and white resin, which is 87, and then the Blue Bone is 89. So there's a couple of price variations. Honestly, it's like $5 between the cheapest and the most expensive. I mean, if I was going to pick one, I'd have gone for this one, even if it is a little bit more expensive. But I'm do quite like the wood on the knife handle. It does give it a nice warmth in hand. But there we go, guys. That's a review of the brand new QSP jumping jack, designed by one of the head guys at Finch, from what I can tell, the little bit of research I did online. You can get it with or without the slip. Adding the slip gives you about $10 more onto the price. But I hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.